Namaskar. Welcome to Soul Connections and Awakening with Brahmakumaris. Welcome, sister.
Om Shanti, thank you so much.
Om Shanti, Sister Shivani.
Do you know what Om Shanti means?
I am Shanti.
A peaceful being. It's a very beautiful greeting at the Brahmakumaris. It's not just something which is to be, just used as a word, but an entire consciousness which we remind ourselves every time that we greet each other. Om Shanti, I am a peaceful being.
Whether I am or not. I just see children when they are taught by the parents, say good morning, and say fine, thank you. How are you? Fine, thank you. Whether they are fine or not, they have to say fine, thank you. Have you ever heard anybody say, I'm not fine, no thank you? Maybe 1% out of 1,000 people or 20,000 people.
Yeah, but...
Like every child is taught from the beginning, just say, uncle, how are you? I'm fine, thank you, whether you're fine or not.
True, which is true.
So why?
Even by children, look at us today. Where we say good morning, good evening. If you say, if you see in the company corridors early in the morning, everybody's walking past each other and they're saying good morning, and the other person from there just replies morning. So the thought is not there, what are we doing?
He doesn't even know.
No, because good morning means I need to create a thought first, that I wish that your morning is beautiful today. So it's thought energy with word energy. That's a greeting. But I could be thinking something else. In fact, I could be thinking what I'm going to do, because of which your morning is going to be quite miserable today if I'm going to take some action in the office. And the words are good morning. And then we're saying why relationships are not working. Because thoughts and words are not in harmony.
Yeah.
But Om Shanti, even over here sometimes it happens, when someone is upset and angry, and yet they can say, okay, Om Shanti. But that's a meaningless thing. I am a peaceful being. Get into that consciousness, create that thought, and then use the greeting. And this applies for any kind of communication. It's only then when we keep checking these thoughts and words, our relationships will become very smooth. This is a big conflict where we think something else and say something else. The relationships don't get built on a strong foundation. It's very beautiful to be able to keep a clean flow of energy where whatever you think, you can say it. And if you can't say it, then you shouldn't be thinking about it. Don't do things mechanically. Sometimes we become very mechanical, even with our words and our behaviors, and then we're not exchanging the right energy with each other.
Today's all social parties, social gatherings and meetings are all mechanical.
So then we cannot say, why is the relationship not strong? It's not built on the right foundation.
So can't we have a mechanical relationship?
If it's a mechanical relationship which doesn't have the right flow of energy, then the smallest situation, the slightest word, and the relationship will collapse. Let's say I have a relationship with you which is not strong, which is not set on the right energy. Some third person will come in and say, do you know what he was saying about you? And that's it, it's gone. Just one sentence is enough for trust, faith, respect, love, and the whole list to vanish. Because it was only in words. And it can just collapse like that. And that's why relationships are so fragile today.
Relationships are fragile today. They have relationships on Facebook and internet today. Did you read the papers the other day? One woman from India had just gone to Pakistan, crossed the borders, just relationship on internet.
Yes, it's a very big new...
Relationship on internet.
Yeah, it's a new dimension that we have got to our relationships today, because probably we're not being able to have healthy relationships when we are one-to-one, so we'd rather do it using technology. It's easier to do it using technology.
That's what I was telling you.
Yeah.
Mechanical.
But at the same time, technology is making our strength, our emotional strength, weaker. See what happens, we've seen a lot of children today who are not able to adjust with people. But they're very good with people on the net. They cannot handle pressure here when they are with people, but they're very good talking to people over Facebook and other networking sites. So what happens, the more they feel they're successful on technology, the more they withdraw from actual people and sit with technology. Today, the kind of relationships we have because of technology are actually fragile, and they make me weak. We have to see people, not even children, everyone, the way they're dependent on technology. You post a message on your Facebook. Within 5 minutes, you'll be waiting there to see what other people have to say about you. It's a dependency. And then when you start reading what they have written in response to your messages, then a slightest word, which is not what you would want it to be, gets you upset.
You're hurt.
You're hurt. So basically, your vulnerability is increasing. You are making yourself weaker and weaker when you're making yourself dependent on the opinion of so many people. And yet at the same time, you are spending more time with this than what you are spending with actual people in interactions, because you find this easier to control. If I am with you and you say something to me and I get hurt, it becomes difficult for me to manage my reaction here. But if I am on the internet and you say something to me and I get hurt, you won't come to know my reaction. Right? But then what happens, I start getting more comfortable with that internet and with people on the net, and I withdraw from these real life interactions.
That's
because
easier.
This is difficult. Yeah, this is difficult. But the more I withdraw, the weaker I get. The lesser I use my strength, the weaker it gets. So it is okay to use technology for once in a while, but if we're going to make that the foundation of our relationships, then we're only reducing our emotional strength.
But sister, you see every child, I won't even say every third child, all these kids, girls and boys, they are in love with each other on internet or Facebook and creating a mess out of their life.
Again, we will claim that we are in love. We even think that we are in love. But it needs to be checked whether that's really love and whether I am experiencing what I want to experience. Sometimes when we get attached to someone, what happens is we create a very ideal image about them on the screen of our mind. And once we create that ideal image, we lose our own thinking in that image. Our thoughts and feelings are with that image that we have created on our mind. And then we tend to think of them very often, and we think this is love. It's attachment. Again, when that image and the actual doesn't match, or when the person actually does something which is contradictory to the image that I have created, then my state of mind gets disturbed. So we have to understand what is actually love. And am I mixing dependency, attachment, obsession, and saying it's love?
What is the difference between obsession and love?
What's the difference between obsession and love? It sounds as the same thing.
I'm just asking you because a lot of girls, they say, I have an obsession, passion, I love so and so.
I have an obsession, an infatuation, an attachment for so and so. But I love so and so is an absolutely different list. So one is I'm attached to an image that I have created, and using that image, I'm creating a certain kind of thought and feeling. And then I always am dependent on that image to be able to create those thoughts and feelings. So it's another dependency that I've got. Sometimes we also think when we are in love, when let's say we're very comfortable with someone. If I'm very comfortable with someone and I can open up with someone some things about myself which I probably haven't opened up to the rest of the world, or which I haven't opened up to many people around me. And just because I can open up, I heal myself while opening up. Because when we share something with someone, we're able to heal ourselves. It's like therapy. And then because I'm comfortable and I heal myself, while sharing with somebody. And healing means coming back to our core self.
When you share something with anybody, you heal yourself or reaffirm or confirm?
No. See, many times I myself am not aware of how to handle situations and I am in pain. But when I share with someone, while sharing, I'm able to come up with the solution. If I've kept some emotional blockages there, that blockage sometimes gets cleared only if I share it with somebody else. But I've probably never been able to share it with anyone.
But in the last episode, in the mother, daughter and mother-in-law, you discussed, you said when the daughter comes home and complains about her mother-in-law to the mother and about her husband and all that, it sends all wrong vibrations to the mother-in-law and the husband. And if I say, okay, you're so right, and your parents, your in-laws are very, very wrong, and I'm confirming and reconfirming, affirming.
That was a different thing. That was if somebody shares what they're going through and the other side reaffirms and says that yes, you are right, the other people are wrong, then they're adding pain to the pain.
Yeah.
But when you're comfortable with someone, it means they're not creating pain when they're sharing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be comfortable. Comfortable means when you do not experience that pain anymore when they are in their company. That's when we say, I'm very comfortable with you. I'm very comfortable when I'm with this person. Comfortable means who's comfortable?
I create comfort when I'm with you.
Yeah, but who's comfortable? Not the body.
Mind.
The mind becomes very comfortable when I'm in their presence. Why? Because they're accepting me. And I'm able to open up. Why? Because I don't have to pretend to be anything in front of them. I can be myself. This is how it starts initially.
Yeah, but today's comfort is with the computer.
Yeah. But when we find someone like this, whom we can be comfortable with, whom we can talk out things with, and we get healed when we are with them, then we think that's love. We've seen people who can be in love with their counselors and psychologists. Doctors. Why? Because talking to them, sharing with them, their blockages got cleared, they got healed, and because they got healed while they were with them, they think they're in love with them. This is healing. It's therapy. It's counseling. It's not love. So these things have to be very clear in our mind so that we know what we're doing and what feeling we're talking about. We've understood spiritually that love is our own sanskar. It's the original quality of the being. But like my other original qualities, happiness, bliss, I was not being able to create them without a stimulant. Today I'm not able to create love without a stimulant.
Right.
And so when I use someone as a stimulant to create my own inner quality, I think they are responsible for me feeling like this.
So why do I say I love you then?
Yeah, but then when I say
When I see you, I create love in me.
Yes, because it's your own nature, it's your own property. And that's why it is sometimes when it's a one-way relationship, the other person is not feeling anything. The other person is not sending any energy.
But it can be both sides also.
Suppose, let's say if it's one side, let's take that one side. The other side is not sending any energy. That
And
means
then?
who's creating it?
I'm creating myself.
I'm creating it myself.
Or maybe I lost it and I'm finding it.
Myself, but exactly. I am doing it all by myself. And that's why we can do it even if the other person is on the internet.
Then why am I running after that person once I get the feeling?
Why does a person run after drugs? Why does a person run after any stimulant?
Because he finds
I
bliss.
need that stimulant to be able to create it, because I have not learned the art of creating it without the stimulant. And then if the stimulant is withdrawn from me, there are so many people, if they feel rejected, suppose what they feel is not reciprocated, and if the other person leaves them, we've seen children where the other person gets married to someone else. So they feel so rejected, they actually write to us that they don't want to live anymore because they think they'll never feel nice ever after this person has left. That's the amount of dependency on the other person they have kept. It's only because of him or her that I was feeling nice. Now I can never ever be happy. This is the amount of dependency we think we have on other people.
So what do children do? What do they do? What should children do?
It's children or it's everyone today.
Okay, what do girls and boys do? Or men and women who are happening, or maybe even married women and married men are doing. So
Yes.
what do we do?
See, again, yes, like you said, married men and women, because of this belief system that the other person has to give me love. So the minute we found someone with whom we were comfortable, the minute we found someone who could accept us, approve of us, appreciate us, we thought this was love. And it was coming from there. That is what we thought. Once we learn to understand ourselves, I understand that love is my core quality, and love is not to be asked from there, but love is to be created and shared. And love means I'm able to unconditionally accept the other person irrespective of what they say or do. How many people can we accept unconditionally? Even if I take one name, that so-called one name, whom I think, okay, I love this person, am I able to unconditionally accept them?
I told you last time, I can't even unconditionally accept my own self.
Oh yeah, we definitely don't love ourselves today. Otherwise, we wouldn't be inflicting so much of abuse on our own self. You don't abuse people whom you love. We abuse ourselves today. We hurt ourselves today. So definitely, that's all because we don't love ourselves.
All kinds of abuse, drug abuse, alcohol abuse. You abuse yourself, guilt,
Right.
jealousy,
So-
anger, all that is abusing yourself.
Everything. It's inflicting emotional abuse on yourself. So today, let's just sit back and ask ourselves, I love someone. What does it mean to me? Does it mean they should do this, they should be like this, they should appreciate me, they should do this for me, whether subtly or physically, in terms of what they should do or how they should feel?
Long list of what he
Long
should do or
list.
she should do.
And that long list will never remain the same. And that's why it happens. Initially, one person can go on appreciating you, accepting you, approving of you. Finally, something will happen with which their appreciation might change. Their acceptance can get affected, and then I get hurt. And then I say to them, now you don't love me anymore. Why? Just because they didn't accept something about me?
Such a common line. You don't love me anymore is such a common line.
Because I thought you are supposed to accept me. That is love. But love is supposed to be, I accept you. You know, like for respect, people are supposed to respect
both
me.
of us respect each other or accept each other? Or
Cannot.
why only I accept you?
Because you're not in my control. I can only see what I can do.
But both are eyes, no?
Yeah, but you will see your eye, and
Yeah.
I will see mine.
I here, I there.
Yeah, but you know, otherwise we can be saying, I thought you loved me, but you don't anymore. Can't go on like that. It will only send negative energy between two people. I have to only check, do I love people around me? And if yes, what does it mean? And it means selflessly being there for them. Absolutely. Unconditional forgiveness. Not getting hurt for the smallest of things. We think love means smallest word and I get hurt. And I think that's sign of love.
Sign of perfection.
Attachment. Very strong attachment. And that's why if you see people who claim that they are in love, most of the time are hurt about something or the other about each other.
If they constantly hurt, sister, how can they emote anything else?
Exactly. They will only transmit hurt to each other and pain.
Like last time you said that if I'm in pain, how can I respect anybody or love anybody? So if I'm hurt 24 hours, what am I going to give the world?
Exactly. And then we created a belief system that I love you so much that it hurts. And people said, wow, yeah, it's true. I agree. And justified their pain and their hurt.
I love you so much that it hurts.
Yeah, it's a very common line which the youth of today are using, and they're very proud of it because that gives them the permission
To drink, smoke,
and to create pain. And then they call it, this is love. I am in love. So this has to be understood. Just check for ourselves.
You mean to say they enjoy creating pain in themselves?
They've justified it, no? It's justified. And you think it's a sign of love that you're hurt.
Justified.
You justify your emotions. And you think this is love just because you're in pain. And they think the more the pain, I think that's so much of love. So this has to be checked. It has to be selfless kindness, unconditional forgiveness. Can I unconditionally forgive? And limitless compassion. Absolutely, how much ever the other person...
How can you use the word, sister, forgive? Unconditionally forgive.
Forgive means acceptance.
Forgive means once you know that it is not right, I have forgiven you, so there is no condition or unconditionally there.
Yeah, but you know what happens? We tend to get affected. The more attached we are to somebody, we tend to get affected by the smallest words. Sometimes I ask people, who are the people whose words and actions affect you or disturb you? So they say, oh, the only people who are the closest to us. Now actually, look at the irony. The people closest to us are supposed to be the people whom we love. And actually the people closest to us
Hurt you?
Seem to be the ones who are creating the hurt. How can hurt and love be together?
No, but isn't it a fact that people might say anything to me, but if my husband says anything, I'll cry.
Yeah.
You, at least not you, you too, Brutus, you read it in those old Shakespeare dramas also.
If you love your spouse, then you cannot create hurt over the smallest or biggest of situations.
Because she will say, at least not you, I didn't expect this from you.
Exactly. At that time, I have to remember this is attachment, not love. And love means I wouldn't get hurt. The more I can remain stable in a particular relationship, the more tell yourself, this is love. Check it there. This is it. And if the more I increase my stability, the more my experience of love in that relationship is increasing.
But I think
Not the other way around, that the closer the people.
I don't understand, or maybe I do not agree with this. I do get hurt by the people whom I love, who are close to me. If the world says anything to me, I don't mind. But if the closest friend or my closest person,
So then that's
I will
not
definitely
love.
feel bad about
That's
it.
not love. That's attachment to an image that this is how you should speak to me. And now that you haven't done this, I am hurt. So it's attachment and ego, not love. So we need to check. And so need to practice. If I claim to myself that I love so and so, then I cannot get hurt. Then we said unconditionally forgive every word and behavior and always be there, compassionate. Cannot create pain if they are in pain. That's attachment. We need to separate attachment and love. And if you are in a relationship which doesn't work out, definitely don't go in this vicious cycle of pain saying, oh, I can't live anymore. No, there is nobody on whom we are dependent that we cannot live without them. This is only a thought pattern which gets created.
Well,
it needs to get cut.
If somebody leaves me tomorrow, I have no other choice to live.
Yeah, but the quality of living, children going into depression, children having to see a psychiatrist, it's only because, one, I think my happiness is dependent on them, I can't live without them. Second, rejection. I'm no good. That's why they left me. And third, my self-esteem was dependent on them, and without them, I cannot be fine. And so they go into that cycle of negative thoughts. And then we say, this is love. And people actually write emails saying, please tell us how can we get them back. Let's send love.
A loving meditation to all the people who are running after those computers and
Definitely.
not understanding what is love. Sister, when you said, I want him back or her back, I need to speak to you in the next episode about this. There are people who do black magic and they say, okay, I'll get him back for you or get her back for you. You pay me so and so. And a lot of things about jealousy and success. Till then, a small meditation. Thank you.
Let's sit back. I, the being, conscient energy, I am a loveful being. Love, that feeling for which I was searching outside. Stimulants, people, objects, I searched everywhere. This is me. I am love. I am complete. As I experience this, I understand that it's my property which I transmit to people around me. It's a feeling which I transmit to souls around me. It's not something which I want, ask for, or dependent on. It's my natural sanskar. And I can create this in the presence of everyone. Because this is who I am. And as I know myself, I send vibrations of love to all the souls and relationships around me. I send vibrations of love to souls all over the world. Because I, the soul, am in connection through the energy of love. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.